Good morning, guys. Welcome to iPunt Smart Preview for Turffontein. Today we start off with good going and no rain in the last 24 hours. 45 millimeters, which is plenty in the last 7 days, though. Conditions are good, but it must be a little bit soft. So more to the good side, but that's the official rating. But yeah, I can only imagine there's a little bit of soft underfoot because of all that rain in the last 7 days. We start off with the first, and here the first choice is Warrior Captain. And I think the biggest danger is probably on cue. And the reason why I'm saying Warrior Captain is the one run for Warrior Captain. A little bit of nibble, 7.5 into 7, 4.5 lengths behind the winner. What likes the most, 57.55 on the adjusted time, 1000 Turffontein, really decent for 60 kilos. And on cue, 57.45, carrying 60 kilos at the Vol 800. So those two compared, the 1000 Turffontein is a better one since Turffontein is running uphill 8 meters on the straight. But on cue also gets 2.5 kilos off today with Manga taking the ride, and also gets tongue tie fitted today, and that was a yielding run. So those two are very much the ones that I'm most interested in about, and the betting also suggests the same. I think one of those two is the one that I like the most. The other one in the betting here is Cuomo, but you can see the adjusted time is not as good. But Cuomo is also getting a 2.5 kilos off the back, and it is a tarry, so must be some improvement on the second run. So I'm going with Warrior Captain on cue. Forget the time, the other Waichong Mowing runner didn't do all that bad in the yielding on that specific run. And Kuyomo, the fourth choice. Of the first timers, Take Control, Dock of the Bay, Brief Crusade. You see Dock of the Bay is actually getting some betting support. But I'm hoping that either Warrior Captain or On Cue will be the winner here. It's not part of the bipod, not part of the exotics at all, so I will not have a nibble. In the second race, there is a green in the form of Arctic Skyline, and I would probably be most worried about Gin and Tonic. Now, the two did meet each other on the 17th of December, where Arctic Skyline was 0.25 lengths behind the winner, Gin and Tonic 6.25 lengths behind the winner. So 6 lengths difference on the same kilograms today probably means that Arctic Skyline would beat Gin and Tonic, which then leads me to the biggest danger for me then being Southern Cape. And the reason why I'm being Southern Cape is the 1000-meter Turffontein form, 3 lengths behind the winner. And Doris Sham had 4 runners on Thursday, 3 winners, including our greenie at 17 to 1, Harry's Secret, and also a second place. So, needless to say, she is in very good form. So that's my second choice, Gin and Tonic my third choice, Dil Nawaz my fourth choice, and then we get down here to the first timers, Eternity Ring, Warren Buertes and Dennis Schwartz, and then twice the trip, Terry and Hewitson again, first timer, Pink Diamond, Fortune and Hubbub, and then Lady Serena, Sham and Murray. So the kind of race where if the trainers wanted to do something spectacularly stupid for the public and spectacularly good for them, they could probably come and win with Lady Serena in first place and Pink Diamond in second place. It's very possible because Ashley Fortune has only got the 2 for the day. Doris Sham has got Southern Cape, and Lady Serena is the only for the day. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, to be quite honest with you. The worry for me is that this could be the kind of race, because we don't have anything to go on as far as these first timers is concerned. It could be the kind of race that's going to throw us out the bipod. So that would, for me, mean I'm going to do something like bipod. I will be choosing 1 Arctic Skyline, 4 Gin and Tonic, 9, sorry, 1, 9, 4 Southern Cape Gin and Tonic, and then look at something for the statistical or intentions purposes, something that could come and do some damage. So I'm just going to look at the jockey trainer combinations to see if there's any one of these Baron, Bottas or Fortune or Sham or even Bronkhorst that's got something that could link me to that kind of things. There is a Hertog that's got scratched now, so let me just refresh that, and that'll take Hertog out of the equation. Let's see what else is there that could just make things worse for us. Okay, Hertog is gone. There's Paul Peter, Philip Vermeulen, Terry, twice the trip, followed by Terry. Have a go, Joe. Okay, so I'm going to add Terry there, twice the trip. I'm just trying to preempt where these kind of unfortunate results can happen. Unfortunate results for the public, I have to add. So number 10, 19410 is going to be my bipod. Yeah. In the third race, the Have a Go Joe is the top rated. Yeah. And a little bit of gap, 3 lengths to be exact, on bat 42 here. Although Grindelwald does take the best bat 42 figures, so that is a bit of a concern because St. John Gray has been in really good form of late, and because it was over the shorter distance, it does mean that he does have the best median speed as well. We also have Janse van Vieren on an only runner for us here. So, Have a Go Joe, 8.85 on the bat figure, and very quickly went up the ranks. He ran in a 98 on his last run, and he's only on his 6th run now. So he will be my first choice in this contest. My second choice will be Savannah Storm at 14-1. Vermeulen's only runner for the day. Craig Zackie's got a knack recently to be winning on the only runners, so I've noticed. And there was some very good improvement on his last run from the 26.78 bat figure to all of a sudden say hello and win at 25. Connections new, backed into 18. With Story taking the ride. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more in the tank on this runner. That adjusted time figure was a 61, really good if you consider the 1800 vol of a 62.58 when actually carrying 55.5, which was way less. Savannah Storm carried 60 kilos, 59 kilos on the 1700 and did a 61 adjusted time. So he's going to be my second choice. And my third choice is going to be my my latest new jockey welcoming aboard on Grindelwald. That St. John Gray is taking the distance up. And my fourth choice is Porto Manzano, and I think those 4 is going to be enough for me to get through the exotics. You probably can get away with only 3 and 7, but just given the prices and the number of people that's going to just banker my Gina Makoland here has also got some decent enough form backed in on a 1600 Kindle with 3 into 2.85 backed in when winning, and Terry's been doing that lately to win with the stablemate. So Namaqualand could be another one that has some kind of a say. So it may just be 3 and 7. Have a go, Joe and Savannah Storm. But I think for the bigger perms, the 1 Portomanzana, the 8 Grindelwald, and the 2 Namaqualand in the bipod. I think 3-7 with 1 and 8 in the PA is enough. In the fourth race, this could be the Tarry Double with Chariot Master being my first choice, 2.4. And then a very interesting only runner for Corne Spies in my second place. If I look at Mukabizi, the part that I did like was the 1400 vol figure here when Sherman Brown was taking the ride, a 7.34 bat figure, which is better than Sean Terry's ever done on Chariot Master on 1104 over the 1160. So to me, Chariot Master could be the double. I have made a note that Candice Dawson is actually improving the best between runs from a bat perspective of all the trainers in the country, and she is in really good form. So that turns out that this race is then not so easy. I've gone 6, 4, 2 Smuts, 9 Pride of France Hook with the best bat figures here. That's clearly a lot better than anything else. 4 lengths better than Smuts. 6, 4, 2, 9, and 8 Learjet, and in the bigger perm, Governor's Glory, which is the actual favorite. So, yeah, I think Chariot Master is the best option here, but 6, 4, 2, 9, 8 within brackets 7 in this race. In the fifth, and here, I think there's 2 horses that could potentially be beating the Mike de Kock stable's favorite, and that is Morby and Mirren. Now, first of all, let's look at Morby. Morby is an only runner for Diane Stenger. Randall Simons take the ride. Blinkers fitted, best greenie points, overall ranking, adjusted time, speed rating, super rule percentage, bat 42.84 and 168. All of that being beautifully well done. The concern here for me is that the jockey that's been chosen here has a 0-0 on the win place jockey, and that means that the intentions hasn't been confirmed for me, where the intentions has been confirmed on Mirren, as you can see, top of intent, top of statistical form. The 2 1600 Turffontein runs 24.44, but this one I like more. The actual debut 8.77, and now it's on its third run after the rest, the 10:31, 11:17, and now today, actually no, it's actually more than 60 days already, so it's back from a rest now. And what I did like was Dennis Schwartz taking the ride, win place jockey, 33% win and 66% place. So that to me means intentions by Niven Hasten, that did run second and first 2 days ago with his 2 runners. So those are my apology. Those are my first 2 choices, 6-5 or 5-6, and then 11. My last one I want to include here is Intercity. Now, Intercity, the reason being it's Jared's pennies only for the day. It did finish 5th on debut, but it did a reasonably decent adjusted time considering it was in yielding going. So in yielding going, to do a 61.85 on debut is pretty decent. And therefore I've gone 6, 5, 11 and 12 in my bipod PA, and I've added the 9 and the 1, Arizona Lady and Artscape. And now you'd be stupid to think Artscape, but the algorithms didn't pick up Artscape, but I did, because if I look at this 8.97 here for Mirren, the second best around is 9.13 for Artscape. And since Dennis Schwartz is moving over onto Mirren, and Craig Buntham takes the ride, there might be a little bit of a rivalry carrying on here between these two, whether Schwartz make the right move or not. So I've just thrown in a little bit of a lurker here at 30-1 in the form of Artscape. So my pick 6, I've gone 6, 5, 11, 12, 9 and 1 Arizona Lady, as well as Artscape, the 2 Gary Alexander runners at 22-1 and 30-1. I think the Big Six will pay a lot more in Turffontein today than it would in Cape Town. Cape Town looks pretty easy. In the sixth race, and Watchong Mowing's back again, top rated here, Kingsley's Heart. It does seem to be the one with the best credentials. Um, it does have the best bomb rolls, the best T-curve, the best super loop percentage, the best form, the best greeny points, and he's at a really nice price at 5-1, actually, considering what we get here. So he's my first choice, but it's not all that simple according to the algorithms. The algorithm suggests that all of 1, 8, 2, 3, 7, and 4 should go into the bipod. Personally, I think maybe just 1 and 8, Kingsley, Hart, and Trattoria is enough here. But yeah, I've done the 1, 8, 2, 3, 7, 4 as the algorithm suggests. Since the last races is actually much shorter odds. So 1, 8, 2, 3, 7, 4. In the pick 6, the bigger perm 6 and 9 also been added. So I haven't seen anything standing out yet up till now, and that is, as I'm saying that, where we get to the one that is potentially the best runner for me for today from a probability versus risk perspective, Franklin. Now, the biggest danger for me is Ocean Forest in this race, but in saying that, the 0 bat figure versus the 6.98 bat figures gives me almost a clear 7 lengths difference between the two. On top of that, Mr. Nyawu is not the highest probability jockey in the country. His lifetime stats gives him a 4.66% chance to win and a 16% chance additionally to place. Alec Lady's in good form. He's only had one run since his last winner, and the jockey has had a 33% strike rate on placing on Ocean Forest, which is not winning. So I do think, all things being considered, Ocean Forest for me is a decent little probability. Jockey Solomons has done really well at track Turffontein. He's got a 60% place record this season, and that to me is good enough to suggest that Franklin is a nice little each way option. The other things that I like is the EXP percentage or exotic percentage. He does have on the exotic percentage a clear 16%, which is quite a bit ahead of Ocean Forest given all 84 rules that we look at. And on top of that, the overall rankings the best. The greeny points is clear 5 points better than Nabila. And he does hold Nabila on the bat figures here, although the intentions does show that Mr. Hewitson booked Nabila will be trying harder than he has Skip when he attempted these bat figures. Exact distance, median speed goes to Nabila, and exotic ranking also goes to Nabila. So Nabila does have a few things going his way, but if I look at the adjusted time figure with Franklin and Ocean Forest, it has quite a gap then to the next best, Nabila. And if I look at the speed rating, again, Franklin and Ocean Forest has quite a lot better than Nabila, with Fireflower the next best. Median speed, Fireflower, Sultana, Ocean Forest, Activation, Nabila, and Franklin. So Franklin doesn't do all that well on that in that department, but with his adjusted time, his back figures does look really decent. His exact distance, median speed, is just slightly under Nabila here. His form is better than Nabila. His statistical form is terrible, is the only word I can use, which means the stats doesn't suggest that Solomons and Verdenise is trying as hard, and the intentions also is another terrible 2.65 at the bottom here. So those two things are a bit of a concern for me. Whether they will actually utilize what they have with Franklin in this race is maybe a little bit of a concern for me. But they do have the horse to actually perform It's more a question of whether they'll be using it. So let's have a look at the form for a moment here. And Franklin 2000 meter form, he's tried once and he's ran third. Now what I really liked about it is this hidden little gem here. It was a Fillies and Mares 84, which is exactly where we are back at today. And yeah, the connections really wanted to hide things, but they didn't do it very well, considering that the opening betting is at 33 to 1 and was backed into 14 to 1. Now that's a lot of money that went onto Franklin. Then since they didn't get it right, they only finished third. They then got it right the very next time with Craig Zaki taking the ride and carrying 53.5 kilos with still not a good back figure, 17.25. You can see because of that the merit rating went from 76 up to 81, which is the 5 merit rating up, and that is exactly where Mr. Solomons comes in, because he's getting the 5 merit rating down as he takes the 2.5 kilos off the back. So Franklin won his last race. He came second in his second last race, and he came second in his third last race. That to me suggests that he has been very consistent of late. The one try that he's failed was actually in soft going, where he finished 11th with Zaki taking the ride again after Zaki just won, and we went to the Turffontein inside track. On the Turffontein track, he's done the 1800 and he has a decent second with the 62.15 decent bat figure as well. So he's my first choice. My second choice is Ocean Forest. And if I look at the Turffontein kind of 18 to 2000 meters adjusted time figures, then you'll see 63.81 year versus a 63.64, but he's only 1 kilo up, and he is 4.5 kilos difference. So that does bring Ocean Forest into the race. What I didn't like about Ocean Forest is Niyawu took the ride on this day, and the connections knew before the time that they're not going to be trying, because it drifted from 14 into 22 to 1, but it was in yielding conditions, and maybe that was what bothered him on that day. So I do give him another chance for today to redeem himself. That's my second choice. My third choice is Sultana, and Sultana is the favorite here in this race. Sultana's done 1600 as the highest that he's ever got to. So Sultana has only got red back figures. As you can see, these are red because they are outside of the 251 meters, which means he hasn't proven himself over this kind of a distance of 18 to 12 to 2000. And Sultana's adjusted time figure is also blank because these figures here was not within the distance category so far, which is 2000 meters, which means anything from 1750 meters to 2000 meters or above to 2250 meters will be picked up. So Sultana is my third choice, with some question marks on his ability over this distance, and Fire Flower is my fourth choice in this race. There's been a lot of support for Fire Flower, 1.85 into 1.5 in the Fillies and Mares 76. He did win a Fillies and Mares 83 with a decent 61.7 adjusted time, but he's getting 3.5 kilos more today. Even that being said, the bat figure of 9.37 is still decent, and Matsunyane retains the ride. That has got quite a decent relationship with Fire Flower. So he's my fourth choice. All of these things being considered, the one thing that stood out for me was that the improvement seemed quite decent on the last run with Franklin when he finished first, as the adjusted time shot up, the speed rating shot up, the median speed shot up, and the bat figure accordingly shot up to the best in the field. And if I'm saying that, if I'm comparing vol versus vol bat figures, then the 0 bat versus the 6.9 bat is clearly better for Franklin. And if I'm comparing Turffontein bat figures. Then I'm looking at a 969 year on Turffontein and a 1269 year on Turffontein for Franklin. And then I'm looking at a 13 for Turffontein on Ocean Forest, and then I'm looking at a 9 for Turffontein on Fire Flower, and then I'm looking at an outside of distance category 6 and 9 for Sultana. So those are the four guys that I have earmarked as my best chances in this race. Those four. The next best, then I move over to Illuminate, and Illuminate's Turffontein bat figure 1816, and inside track was the best of a 11. Interesting to note that that was when Dennis Schwartz was also taking the ride and did get backed in 5 into 4. So I do give Illuminate another chance to improve today. And then the other one, Nabila, is my sixth choice. But if I'm looking at these Turffontein best bat figures 23, he was improving at Vol into a 14 and an 18. So he only gets my sixth choice. So the first five is clearly better than the rest for me. I do like a bit of Franklin. I think it's a little bit of a hidden gem. So what have I done here? I've gone 1 Franklin, 5 Ocean Forest, 2 Sultana, 4 Fireflower, and 7 Illuminate in my bipod. So it's got a bit of Nabila in the bigger one, 15247, and in the pick 6, 152476, with the bigger one adding curvation here. Because curvation's not all that out of it, and he only carries 51.5 kilos as well. His figures suggest from the Vol perspective that he's in it, but from a Turffontein perspective he jumps to a 20. So that's why I like to see the data, where it's not opinion driven, it's data driven that I am interested in. Dickens' stride ran fourth stride, ran second, so with by John Mowing here, he has a 33% chance of placing, but a 0 of winning. So that's the reasoning behind me. In the eighth, Way of the World is now not a greenie anymore because he's been scratched, and that then means that Kalis Champ pops in here as my first choice. Fani Broncos, Ryan Munger is coming back from a rest. Given his greenie points is 13, it's superior to the rest, the second best being 9s and 8s. And then the speed rating is superior to the rest as well. The exact distance, median speed, same. Form, same. Super rule percentage, 80%. Now the T curve is on 54 versus second best 34 after Way of the World is gone. It does suggest to me that Kayla, the champ, might be a champ yet again today. Also has the best bat figures by quite a little bit. Ferrari being the closest on 3 behind, and bat CD 4.65. So I do like Kalis Champ's chances here. My second choice is Cordillera. My third choice is Diorama. And my fourth choice is Gaian Glory, with my fifth choice being Flaming Duchess, and the sixth choice Ferrari Trapiche, my seventh choice. But one of the better ones, Franklin, my first choice, as a little bit of a nibble today from a value perspective. Kalis Champ, my second one, of a little bit of a nibble from a value perspective. And when I look at the PA, I have gone with 2, 4, 7, and 1. Kalis Champ, Cordillera, Diorama, and Gaian Glory. For those living on the edge out there, if you like to live on the edge, maybe Kalis Champ is enough for you, or Kalis Champ and Cordillera, which is the favorite Cordillera. But yeah, I don't like to have that conversation every day. Oh, I just missed it, I was just one out. And as we can see, our exotics has been paying plenty in the last week. Race 9, and in the very last race, there's only 2 horses here in my PA and bipod, which is Chloris and Spice Market 1 and 2. In my pick 6, I have added Netta in my small pizza pick 6. Paul Peter only 2 runners for the day. Weird. stable change as well, so probably going to get some more out of it. Has been running in a bit of features here, and now returns as Paul Peter being the instigator of movement. And if I look at the 14 into 4, money has poured in on the last time before Mr. Peter is taking the reins. I could see a improvement of what we need, 17 lengths from Spice Market. So again, we pop up with the Alec Laird horse here. Mike de Kock is the first choice on that maiden run, 1400 Turffontein, exact course, exact distance, 8.45, the best in the field. Chloris seemed to be a little bit special after he's been getting money every time, and he went from fourth on a maiden to winning a maiden to running fourth on a 93. Today he jumps back down to a 77 fillies and mares. So that would suggest that I'm giving him the chance to show that he is actually as good as he is. Spice Market ran against him on the previous attempt that these two ran against one another, and Spice Market actually beat him. So Spice Market and Chloris, very little difference separating these two. The reason why I went with Chloris as my first choice is Chloris is only on his fourth run, so more improvement expected. Chloris is also 2.5 on the betting on that run when Spice Market was at 5. He was backed in from 10 into 5. This was a yielding going and not a good going, so that takes me to the best good going run, and my best good going run is by far better for Chloris. Chloris being 8.45 versus the good going of a 16 and a 24 and a 24 and a 46, 32, 26. So you can see why Chloris is my first choice. Mike de Kock and Craig Zaki, Spice Market my second choice, and Netta my third choice, with Brett Weber's other runner also popping in here into the rankings with my fourth choice. Nathan Klink takes the ride, which is weird because he was doing better recently, and then Klink got on board and he lost the plot from a 17 to a 23. But he does seem to have been yielding going. It was closer to the winner here. That was good going on the 8th of August. So he finished off his season way better than what he showed us so far coming back from the rest 4 months later. 8th of August, he did well. 2 lengths behind the winner. Then he came back from that rest. Muzieni took the ride. They expected a bit. They were backed in a bit. Yielding going showed nothing. Then good going showed even less. Then yielding going again showed even less than that. So maybe they were setting up to come and surprise the world today at 44 to 1. So here's my fourth choice. I've gone 1, 2 in my PA. I think that is enough. And then I have gone 1, 2, 4, 5 and 13 in my pick 6. And the last one in the pick 6 for me is Hello Happiness. Now I can certainly tell Mr. Soma will probably be the only one that is happy if Hello Happiness wins, because it is a 44 to 1 shot. But be that as it may, Mr. Bantam's only got the 3 runners for the day. Hello Happiness is the best adjusted time, the best speed rating, and the best exotic ranking to boot. And Hello Happiness has made the public very unhappy once already when he came from absolutely zero form into winning his next race at 30 to 1. This little bugger here. So to me, it's just another example of how beautifully honest the racing industry is. Showing absolutely no form and then coming back to win at 30 to 1. So the 44 doesn't really bother me that much because it's just a number, and we've seen more than enough times that anything can happen in racing. So my sixth choice is Astral Plane, 25 to 1, has showed a little bit of improvement and has showed a little bit of support around these figures here. And my next one is the other Joey Soma runner, Vrkana. And if I compare Hello Happiness and Vrkana with one another, Then Verocano has had the 1400 Turffontein runs twice, and he showed a 30 bat and a 24 bat, which is not anywhere close to the bats that Chloruses have on the 8.45 here. So for that reason, from a probability perspective, if I'm looking for an upset, then I'm going to choose Hello Happiness, because Hello Happiness has not done the 1400 exact course exact distance runner yet, and he has showed me before that he can win at a ridiculous price, 30 to 1. So if that's the one to play with, then the playing will come from the 30 to 1 shot, in my opinion. But yeah, this is only an opinion. I'm looking at data here. So Astral Plane and Veracana, and then Bellarosa. Stuart Pettigrew has only got the 2 for the day. His last run was the exact course and distance. Randall Simons is getting the ride today. He's been thereabouts 4.36.041 lengths behind. He's been decent on the finishing positions as well, but the AI machine learning doesn't pick him up. The bat values doesn't pick him up either. So in this race, you could either take a chance and bank a Mr. Chloris, or if you don't, then you can take all of those that I've just suggested to you. So to make it quite clear which ones do I actually like or not like, I like a bit of Chloris in this race. I like a bit of Kalis Champ in this race. I like a bit of Franklin in the 7th race, and I like a bit of Kingsley's Heart in the 6th race. So that's 4 winners. Then that's going to be a really decent price. Yeah, it's a bit of a rip-off between Mirren and Morby. I don't know which one of those two I like them more. Yeah, I think Chariot Master could be on Terry Double. I think Learjet could be a little bit of a danger. Pride of Franchuk could be a bit of a danger, and Mukabisi could surprise. Yeah, I think Have a Go Joe, Savannah Storm, and Grindelwald is my biggest runners. And if there's going to be some funny business, then Makwaland. Race 2, I think Arctic Skyline and Southern Cape and Gin and Tonic is probably the most probable, but if there's going to be a bit of skullduggery, then Twice the Trip. And in race 1, I'm going to say Warrior Captain is probably the one with the highest probability to win for me today, but not a really nice price. That's it from you guys. Till tomorrow.